The Bible tells us that God created the heavens and the earth. Now, when God created everything, it was good. But that's definitely not the world we see around us today. Our world is far from perfect and good. So if God made everything perfect, then what in the world happened? Well, the Bible tells us that God placed Adam and Eve, the first humans, in the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God gave Adam and Eve one rule, just one. They could eat from any tree they wanted, except one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God told them that if they ate from that tree, then they would die. Now, that rule would be pretty easy to follow, right? I mean, it was a perfect world filled with wonderful things to eat. Adam and Eve had everything they needed. Think about it. Imagine your fridge is full of the best food, and you can eat all of it, except for one item. Pretty easy, right? Well, one day the serpent came along in the garden, and he wanted to ruin God's perfect world. So the serpent convinced Adam and Eve that they didn't have everything they needed, that they needed something more, and that God was keeping them from it. In other words, by not letting Adam and Eve eat from one tree, that must have meant that God was not letting them have some sort of really awesome gift. Now, we know that was a lie. A big one. But instead of trusting God, Adam and Eve believed the serpent's lie. So Adam and Eve chose to disobey God, and they ate the fruit from the tree. And once they did, everything changed. Their eyes were opened. It was kind of like they opened a gift, expecting something wonderful, but it wasn't a wonderful gift at all. It was nothing but trash. Disgusting garbage. Now, how would you describe trash? Maybe you think of words like yucky, smelly, revolting, gross, rotten, stinky, slimy. Okay, you get the idea. Well, these are also words that describe sin. Now, Adam and Eve didn't literally get a box of trash when they ate the fruit. No, sin is ultimately what entered the world when Adam and Eve chose to disobey God. And sin's some pretty yucky stuff. When Adam and Eve sinned, it caused the good and perfect world God had created to now be covered in yucky, disgusting, smelly things. Really bad things. Things like pain, sickness, hatred, disasters, fear, sadness, anger, and death. Now, sin is obviously way worse than trash. At least with trash, we can throw it out and get rid of it. But sin is stuck with us. We can't just take our sin out to the curb like trash and get rid of it. Nope. I mean, we can try to get rid of it, but the truth is, we keep on sinning. We can't stop. We are living in filth. That sounds pretty hopeless, doesn't it? Well, it was hopeless, and that would have been the end of our story, us stuck in our slimy sin, separated from God forever. But you know what? God had a different plan. Even though we chose the trash, God loved us so much that He chose to send His one and only Son, Jesus, to clean it all up for us and rescue us, to make everything new. And that's the story, God's story and your story.